And now, you're tuned into Tampa Bay's RBLR Sports.
Hi, hello, how are ya? My name is Liz. That's Tom. There we go. I can do the pointing thing. There we go. That's Tom DePinto, and this is RBLR Sun. Hi, hello. Thank you for joining us today. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, hit all the thingies so that you don't miss a single Sun update because we just got our very first W.
We did it. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
It feels good to finally be doing this show after a win.
Oh my God, it does.
We've waited so long. Our fan base has been deprived of a win. We've suffered more than
3
any
weeks.
other franchise.
Literally like 3 weeks.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
But anyway, hold on. Before we get to that, Tom, hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. How are you today? How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. I got a vacation coming up. I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be the first Sun game I ever miss in my entire history of being a fan will be this weekend. So I need everybody else to really back me up, bring the noise for me. So how you doing?
Oh no, we're just gonna mock you relentlessly for not.
That's fine too.
Okay.
Any noise is good noise.
Okay, fair enough. All right. All right. So what we're covering today, obviously, we're gonna go over that awesome win. Lot of nice big changes we saw in the game. Lots of fun things to talk about. And then we will come back around, talk about some things happening around the league, and then also a couple little things happening here with the Sun in Tampa Bay. But right off the bat, we got a win. We won 3-2 over Lexington, which was freaking phenomenal. I wish it had been maybe like 3-1, but I will take it. It was great. There were I saw lots and lots of good things happen with that match. Lots and lots of new things that they improved upon as I'm trying to shift and then it's not working. Hold on. There we go. I want to sit cross-legged and I didn't have enough room. There we go. Now I'm good. Yes. Sorry. Just one thing right off the bat though, the kits look so good on the field. Yes. They look so nice. I really have to hand it, like, there are ways you can do a bad gradient, and the gradient looks really, really nice on the field, especially, like, the stark yellow to orange on the green. Yeah,
that looked better than I think anybody expected, as good as we could have hoped. Because that orange gradient does look really good. With the shirt on its own is, like, yellow, which is bright. It's bold. Mm-hmm. We love it. But, man, when you put it all together, that looks really sharp, actually. I wouldn't mind seeing that at home. You know, then we get some orange and yellow smoke at the same time, kind of, you know.
So maybe hunt down another color.
Orange is it's a bright color. Everybody wants it.
No, but like I'm already trying to find yellow and blue, and then we had to find pink, and then we may have to find. Well, no, we might be good on pink, but still.
Yeah. Hey, we'll sort it out when we get there.
Yeah. Don't make more work for me. My goodness.
Sorry.
Okay, so little things right off the bat that I noticed at the beginning of the match. One, the defense looks way more cohesive. We are hunting in a pack as opposed to being like, one person's there, and then maybe we could pass to each other. Maybe we might make it. No, it was a lot more like we're all grouping together to like push Lexington towards one direction, push them in a corner wherever, and really section them off so that they don't have a lot of space.
Yeah. That week off that we had in between this game and the last one was 2 weeks. My God, you're right. Those 2 weeks, but the amount of practice was absolutely evident. Top to bottom, especially in the defense, but top to bottom looked like a whole brand new team. I think there's a couple reasons why the defense looked better. We got some new pieces in that allowed Listro and Timrak to kind of move further up the field where they're naturally more comfortable. And you know, that meant we had 4 honest-to-God defenders in our back line. And they played like it for sure. They worked together as a unit. It wasn't one person playing soccer with 3 people around her. They were all a lot more, not 100% of the time, not always. You're never going to be, but a lot more on the same page than we'd seen the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were playing in kind of like a 4-1-4-1 formation. It kind of seemed like, or 1-4-1-4. Sorry, it's you know how the numbers are supposed to look.
4-1-4-1. Yeah. It's something we kind of settled into later in the games, that mid block, but starting out with it, I think everybody looked pretty comfortable. Denise decided that's what she wants to do. Now that she's got a lot more of the pieces she wants, and it looks like a very cohesive game plan all of a sudden. Against a Lexington team that in their first game against Carolina went out and really tried to take the pressure right to them, and they just were not able to do that against us.
No, there was I'd say there's a big difference. They definitely changed their game plan at halftime, but for that first half, they had no idea what they were up against. They did not know what to expect. I'm assuming just because we did play a lot differently. We played a lot more cohesive. For Dewara in the middle, I think is the best place for her. Playing is like almost like a true center mid, and just kind of being that channel from the front of the field to the back of the field is great.
Super impressed with Wasilla in this past game. Getting her further advanced, she causes that chaos that she did in the back without having to rely on her as a defender as much, which gives her that freedom to kind of become the connective tissue between the defense and the forwards that we didn't see in the first game, and it wasn't there at all, I think, in the first game. In the second game, Jamona stayed in, and she was able to kind of carry and do some things creatively going forward. But Wasilla coming up, and of course, Timrak and Listro, we saw way more of them involved than we had, which is really good because they're veteran players. You got to see them. But with Wasilla especially, you could see the way she was further up, causing some chaos when Lexington had the ball. And when we had the ball, everybody kind of looked, where's Wasilla? And then she can get the ball where it needed to go, whether it was a pass back or advancing it. So, we
had a clear game plan that we knew how to execute this game, which was breath of fresh air. Which, again, I understand we're being very critical for 3 games in. But it's nice to be able to be that critical. Honestly, we can be like, hey, no, we can expect a lot from them. We can be like, no, we expect, wins this early on. We expect a big turn of change when we see them playing just kind of average soccer to like playing much better, more of that D1 soccer that we're expecting to see.
Exactly.
And it does take a while for it all to gel, and I get that. And it's a whole new system, lots of factors to be put in.
And it's like that for everybody. It's a brand new league. There's no form or tradition or history that teams fall back on. This is who we are. Everybody's finding their identity. And the thing about the Tampa Bay Sun is we know a lot of the names because they're good soccer players, and we know our coach because she's been here with USF for years and years and years. So we know she's a good coach. And so it's really exciting. It's really uplifting to see 2 weeks off and we come out looking like a brand new team because Coach DSB did what she had to do with that time off. So it's not like, oh, no, we don't know what we're doing, or we're not going to live up to these honestly monumental expectations that everybody put on the team. Everybody in the league and here in Tampa Bay was like, oh, Sun are going to run away with the league. And so to actually adjust, that's the mark. It's a long season. So to be able to adjust, that's the mark of a good team, not coming out flying out of the gates, because that doesn't tell you everything about a team.
No, 1 win and we're going to run the league.
Yeah, it's all turned around now. Look, we've seen a lot of Carolina and they look good, but I want to see when the rest of the league knows what Carolina does. So
I know I'm really excited. No, we're getting
it's going to be a good game when it does.
We're digressing a little bit, but I'm excited for that Carolina game because that's going to be the real standard.
Yeah. They have set the tone, so they're we got to look out for them. But we'll get there.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so let's go back to the game. The game recap. So we just saw a lot of good things happening in those first 10 to 15 minutes. Dewara was silky as hell. I can't even with her sometimes because she's just like, oh, I'm gonna take the ball. Oh, I'm gonna just like dip around a couple defenders and look amazing doing it, and like a graceful gazelle running around on the field. It's amazing. I don't know how she does it, honestly.
Yeah, she's smooth when she's got it, and when she doesn't, she is brutal. She is getting the ball.
Oh my! There was a slide tackle that was it was like textbook. It was beautiful.
Yeah, she's you
can use it as an example for teaching.
Yeah, and there was one play right around the arc, right in front of the 18-yard box, where she like tripped somebody, pushed somebody else over, and came out of it with the ball. And it's like none of it was a foul. It was all like, yep, that's how soccer
illegal.
Works.
Yeah.
She's a wrecking ball when she doesn't have it, and she is super smooth when she does.
Yeah, and I did see Riley being up top as that kind of like one. She was doing a lot of really good things. She didn't get a goal in this game, but she was working her butt off trying to get it for sure. And she was in a lot of the right places at the right times. I saw there were a couple of rebounds that she got from either Lexington, bouncing off a Lexington player, bouncing off the keeper. She was just really nailing her positioning in this game.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure expected out of in that 4-1-4-1 low block, mid block. There's a lot of pressure to be put on that midfield or that striker that Riley always is, and she does. God, that goal's coming. I really hope the goal happens sooner rather than later for her because I can see how bad she wants it. She's working for it. She's expressive. She's fast. She's appearing in the right place. A lot of our team has lately shown up where they need to show up, but Riley has been the model for it. So when the goal happens, it's going to be well deserved. It may not be a banger. She may just touch one in because a couple times she was right there looking for that rebound off the long shot. So when she does score, it may not be some worldy outside the box. We're expecting her to get dug in deep and pop a couple in as soon as she hits form. And I think it's going to happen because she wants it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And speaking of bangers, that first goal.
Speaking of bangers, my God. Yeah, I got a lot to say about Talia Stouty. She has sort of in the same way that Carly Jamona changed the way we played in the second game by staying in, not being injured. Not her own fault, but in the same way she stayed in and changed the entire rest of the field, not just her position. Talia Stouty has kind of done that for us in Game 3. She comes in the right back spot, which allows Timrak and Lister to push up and do a lot more, show us that they are veteran players. So she's freed them up and she's pushing up hard the way that it looks like Denise wants those wing backs to push. And she is ending up, like we're saying, in the right place at the right time a lot of the times. Because, if she wasn't pushing up and being where she needed to be, that goal doesn't happen, Yeah.
No, for sure. She was coming up right on the side, managed to get it when Giamona kind of whiffed it, which it just happens. No big deal.
Totally
Run of play.
Totally on purpose.
Totally on purpose. She just wanted to help out Stouty and get Stouty a goal. Absolutely. Yeah. Giamona really wanted that assist. I get it.
Yeah. It was So I mean the whole play was beautiful. Sydney Nasello with the turn and burn against 2. It's something we've seen her do a couple times already this season, where she's kind of in the midfield zone, feels pressure on one side or on both sides, and then just Houdini's out of it. Like it's not even a problem for her.
Yeah, it's
beautiful. Talk about silk. And so Nasello carries that ball past those 2 Lexington defenders, finds Edmonds on the left side wide open, making that big wide back push that we like to see. And the assist does go to Jamona. But really that's Edmonds' assist. She got open. She served the ball in perfectly. We could just as easily be talking about Jamona with a goal of the year candidate. But again, wing backs pushing up, Stouty where she needs to be, and curled it. Just
get a beautiful just outside the box goal. I love it.
Yeah,
nice run of play. We got a good run of play goal that we've been wanting.
Yeah. It's not all. We're finally getting to that point in the season for everybody too, where it's not just set pieces. Things are starting to open up a lot more.
Yeah. Another things that I noticed afterwards too is that we got a lot more aggressive if we lost the ball. There was a lot more the ball got taken from me. Okay, now I'm going to charge at that player. Yeah. And I'm going to get it back if it kills me. Which was, I love to see it. I love to see it. There was a lot less hesitation, a lot less, I guess more decisiveness. Yeah.
I think that's coming a lot of from familiarity with your teammates. Those first 2 games, you lose it, and you don't want to press too hard because you don't know what's going on behind you. You can't look at the ball in front of you that you just lost, and you can't look at the formation behind you. But now we're getting to a point where we know what we want to do. We're confident people are going to be where they need to be, and you can push forward those extra 5-10 yards and apply some pressure. And it ends up paying out. We cash out on that pressure.
For sure. We do get another goal then in the 31st minute with Giamona assisted by Stouty. She returns the favor. Very nice.
Yep. See, what comes around goes around. It's all fair. That's good karma for Carly. This second goal is probably my favorite goal of the season, and not just saying that as a Sun fan, out of the entire Super League, because I think probably like 2 minutes before I'm watching the game at a shout out Mary Margaret's, watching it at the watch party, and I'm thinking, man, this team looks really well put together. They look like they know what they want to do. They're passing well. This is a brand new team. I'm drunkenly saying loudly to anybody who listens, hey, what happened to the Tampa Bay Sun? Who did they get replaced with? And then all of a sudden they come out with this 14 pass build up goal. Just like we were just talking about. I love this goal. Just like we were just talking about, Wasilla and Riley see the chance to apply some pressure. They scare the Lexington defender and they're just booting it long. Gets picked up in left back Edmonds, passes to Orcus. Orcus to Henny on the right side, back to Orcus. Orcus to Bissett, advances to Wasilla. Bissett follows, gets it back from Wasilla. Back to Wasilla from Bissett, to Nacello, to Edmonds, Wasilla. Nacello in, falls to Timrak because they can't handle it. And then Timrak plays it to Stouty, crosses into Jamota. My God, it looked like textbook soccer. I know Denise couldn't have been happier because I was ecstatic watching that goal. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then the millisecond look back Stouty has to do to make sure that she's onside and so that we don't get another offside call is it's so quick, and she just knows it and is on it. It was beautiful. Yeah.
You love to see that out of a rookie playing one of her first career games, and Timrak timing that pass to let her check as a veteran. It was beautiful. It was incredible.
Yeah.
That's Sun soccer going forward, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
I can live with that. Yeah. So they make an interesting sub at halftime, Lexington, or just before halftime. It was like the 40-somethingth minute, I want to say. They make one sub.
Yeah.
Very, very strange, but the play changes. The play does get a little more aggressive. Whistle blows. It's halftime. Okay. Players go in, have their talks, everything, whatever. Players come out. Lexington looks like a very different team after halftime. I would argue they look a lot more aggressive. They're pushing up more. They're way less of this hanging back thing that they were doing at the beginning to maybe evaluate us, whatever they were doing. But it's like a switch is flipped, honestly.
Yeah, we counterpunched there. They like to come out early and press hard. We counterpunched and threw them off their game. But I got to give a lot of credit to Lexington coach Staley. I think he's going to end up being one of the better coaches in the league, right up there with Denise, because he made some. I mean, I don't want to use the phrase "doing a lot with a little" because there's a lot of professional players that have been playing pro in Lexington, but they were a little more unknown than a lot of the other names going around the league to different teams. And he's coming out with the game plan in the first half of that Carolina game to set the tone. It didn't work against us. And he changed things, and he changed the entire dynamic of the game in that second half. And you did see it with that first sub in the 41st minute. So yeah, they adjusted well. They're going to be an impressive team going forward, Lexington. We hung in there. That's what 2-0 going into halftime, right?
Yeah. I have to admit that felt nice. That was good.
Yeah,
that was a nice feeling. I knew it maybe wouldn't last. Because, there's 45 minutes more of soccer, but it was nice.
Dangerous lead in soccer, 2-0, right? That's what they said. And we saw it because Lexington came out and they applied a different sort of pressure that worked better, and they got their goal. It's a little frustrating seeing a foul given up in that spot just outside the box, maybe 21, 22 yards. Just off center. It's a dangerous spot. And it was right off the training ground for Lexington. You said it. Orcus was kind of set up like it's a good spot to take a shot on goal. And they didn't do that.
Yeah. The way Orcus had her line set up, you could kind of tell that she thought they were going for a direct kick into the goal as opposed to a header into the box, or an assist into the box for a header maybe into the goal or something like that. Because she had her taller players who were more center backs and more defensive heavy, excuse me. In the line, which normally I don't think she would have done if she had thought that the ball was going to be sent into the box.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
So
so
it was just, it happens. It was a miscalculation, which is gonna happen. No big deal. Happens.
Yeah, they made the right call. Maybe it was an audible. They saw what we were lining up to do, and they decided, hey, we know how to beat that.
Yeah.
We're a well-coached team. We know how to beat it. And that's something I think the commentators are making a pretty good point, actually. Like, when you're a brand new team, there's so much you have to do. And there's all these philosophies and ways you want to play and where you want people to be during the run of play. And most of soccer is played in the run of play. So you're spending all this time getting your identity set and figuring out what you want to do and where you want people to be. And sometimes for a brand new team, how you defend set pieces is maybe the last thing you get to. So I think going forward, we'll see the marking be different, be a little bit better because it wasn't who we wanted marked up against who needed to be marked up in that situation at all. So it's something that's going to get better. We can tell we get better when we're allowed to. So not too worried about it going forward.
No, not at all.
Yep.
All right. Moving on. The next most interesting thing I saw was that for the first time the entire game and the 70th minute, Nacella was fouled to make her stop dribbling.
Yeah.
It took that long.
Hey, to
because
be fair,
what they were doing. Oh wait, sorry.
To be fair, real early in the game, she was dribbling backwards and got tackled, and it wasn't called a foul.
Yeah.
And it pretty easily could have been, but it's not that Nacella thing we like to see where she embarrasses someone and gets fouled for it.
Yeah.
It did take this long finally.
Yeah, and you did kind of see that Lexington knew there were two players that Lexington had their eyes on, and it was Nacello and I think it was Listro.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I didn't hear Listro's name called that often I didn't hear the announcers say it that often, meaning that she was just sort of maybe moving the ball through the game, not really doing like any like big plays. Nothing against her. We needed her. There was no point was I like, what is that woman doing? So
No,
I
think
love her
her
to death.
defensive work
Absolutely.
was
Don't take
the
it as
best.
criticism.
Yeah. No, I think her defensive work is like more the reason we had Listro in the midfield. You kind of look for somebody else going forward, like a Wasilla to the wings. We don't like to attack through the middle that much, and so Listro was there kind of to clog things, and you saw it a couple times. But yeah, they were definitely marking up Nacello. I think teams are starting to realize you can't let Nacello get one-on-one with somebody.
No, and they're realizing that it takes a couple of people to slow her down.
Yeah.
Because that's what Lexington was doing. They were deciding, okay, if we don't want to risk a foul, because we don't want to risk something unnecessary and unnecessarily foul and unnecessary yellow card, whatever's going to maybe, something like that. So we're just going to shove 2 to 3 players at her and just kind of slow her down if we can.
Yeah. Hope she doesn't just split them both like she did a couple of times.
Yeah. But that was interesting that I noticed that like Lexington was like locked on to her for sure.
Yeah. She is one of the best dribblers in this league. I'd say the best dribbler in this league. I think maybe Spokane's got Amina Ekic. She's up there as a pretty good dribbler, but I still like Nacello, of course, more. It's kind of that old Michael Jordan thing. You can't stop her. You can just hope to contain her.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they're dealing with.
That's Nacello, yeah. So then in the 79th minute, we get our third goal. Yay!
Yep, finally. I think we are right. The first team to hit 3 in the league.
First team to hit 3 goals in a game.
First team to score 3, a 5-goal game. That's the best game in league history, as far as I'm concerned.
Honestly, I mean, it was definitely, I would argue, the most exciting game this weekend.
Yeah. So that Clark goal. Clark, do you know when she got subbed in? It was 1-for-1 with Riley. I know that.
Yeah. The 70-something minute.
Yeah,
it would have been smart to look up.
Kind of shortly after halftime, right?
Yeah. It was no, not shortly after halftime.
Well, yeah, it was about the 60th, 70th minute mark, right?
No. Maybe. Hold on.
Okay, check it out. Pause. But yeah, she got subbed in.
Oh no, the 54th. I apologize. You're right. The 54th minute. You're right.
Yeah, so it was pretty shortly, and it was a 1-for-1, which we've seen the past 2 games. We've seen Ashley Clark as that left midfielder, trying to kind of use her speed and determination, and make something happen going forward with kind of a long ball from Henny or something like that. But I really like the possibility, now that we got Stouty at right back, that pushes Lister up, pushes Timrak up, lets them play where they're comfortable. I think Clark is probably more comfortable in the center spot than she is on the wing. And I think going forward, she's going to kind of be like a super sub for us. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, because she's not going to start over Riley. You put Riley in, let her run until her legs can't run anymore. And then, great, Riley Parker's gone. All of a sudden, Ashley Clark comes in. She's going to run you just as hard. She's going to try and score just as hard. Because we saw it. She was all over the field. She was doing everything that defenders don't want you to do.
Yeah.
And just when they thought it was over, here comes somebody who was starting and playing very well for the past 2 games. So she's a top quality player, and she deserves this goal because she was working hard for it. It goes down as an unassisted goal because it was kind of a weird sequence where the Lexington player touched it. But I don't. It wasn't her doing it on her own. It wasn't unassisted. My girl Talia Stouty gets the ball on the right side. She finds Jamona making a good run. Another really good player. Jamona had another great game. Whenever she's healthy, she plays great. Stouty played it up to Jamona, crossed it in. Great cross. Wasilla was there, which is good to see. Good to get her forward. She heads it down. The Lexington defender can't handle it. And Clark's right there to put it home, doing the dirty work that we need out of our striker.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate move from Lexington, the number 5 player. They're gonna regret that for a while, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
hey,
it's an unfortunate run to play for them.
Wasilla does what you got to do. When you get that open header, it's less about getting it towards goal because the goalie could get it. It's less about getting it towards the goal and more about getting it down because that's where something can happen. It can bounce. It can fall to a player. You get it right at the feet of the Lexington defender like it happened, and it's hard to do anything with it when it lands right at your feet. I don't care who you are, how good you are. That's a tough touch to have to deal with. And Clark was just like a lot of our other players have been. Clark was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then Lexington was very upset about that. So in the 83rd minute, they were like, well, we want to go back. So then they scored again. And that was just rough, honestly. That was Mike and I were talking about it, my boyfriend, and we were just like, that was just, we rolled a crit fail. We did not, it was just 3, Bissett missed her tackle, which happens. Henny went to the ground. It happens. Orcus was too far out. It happens.
Yeah. 3 things all happen at once. We're riding the high of a third goal. We're up 3-1. Everybody feels great. We're running around. We had a lot of subs that just happened. And then, they really they punched it right up our gut. They really did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was, 4 minutes.
We're not taking this lying down. No, we're not.
Yeah. So, I mean, credit to Lexington. They're a fun team to watch. I'm going to check their games out for sure. But, like you said, we just rolled a 1 3 times in a row, basically.
Yes, so, we did.
The 3-1 would have been a lot nicer than 3-2. And that goal by Lexington did make those last couple minutes really nerve-wracking.
Yeah, a little more nail-bitey than I would have preferred.
Yeah. I don't think it's true to the story of the game. I think 3-1 may be more accurate. You can't have half scores in soccer, or else it kind of feels like there would have been one in there somewhere in this game. But
and I felt like we had some subs in between, and I feel like we got maybe a little crazy, a little hectic, maybe tired is maybe really more what it was.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot more back and forth where all of a sudden the 90th minute, Lexington looked like they were almost going to make it 3-3. Then we pulled it back in the 95th minute. We almost looked like we were going to make it a 4-2 with Clark Lemieux.
Yeah.
We got a little crazy towards the end, but we held it down, which is what matters.
Things did get nutty. There was that play right at the end where the ball was knocked around the box and Lexington couldn't clear it, and we couldn't get a clean kick on it either. Yeah. So it could have been 4-2. It could have been 3-1. It's 3-2, and that's our first win. So I'm happy.
Yeah. No, for sure. I love it. I wish I could have seen it, obviously, but congratulations to Lexington for getting to see Tampa Bay Suns' first win.
Yep. Lovely
It's
new stadium.
Truly an honor, honestly.
Glad we could break it in for you guys up there. Say hi to the mini horse for us, by the way.
Oh my God, the mini horse! I'm not gonna
fair.
lie.
Such a good mascot.
The mini horse is pretty dope.
Yeah. We need a mini sun for our mascot.
That's what Amanda Vandervoort said. Because I saw the picture of her with the mini horse, and I was like, they have a mini horse? It's just like, y'all need a mini sun.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
She's so smart. I love her. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where we get that, but
Yeah. 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 I love the mini horse. I'm gonna get held up on because he's so adorable. She's so adorable. It's the women's league. Come on, get it right, Tom. But yeah, so they got their mini horse. They got their funny construction hats. They got their
horse hats.
The foam horse hats. I love the foam horse hats.
Will haunt my dreams.
Yep, horses are scary. Good mascot because they're scary creatures. I'm scared.
Majestic but scary. Yes.
Yeah, like a shark. There's
yeah,
the shark
yeah. There we go. Yep, just like a shark.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, recap of the game.
Yeah.
We look much better.
Phenomenal.
Holy crap.
Totally
like a
different.
world of difference. 2 weeks off was exactly what we needed. We're gelling. Things are clicking. I am so excited to play this game against Brooklyn. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
We look different. Our center backs are looking a lot more cohesive. Our defense just in general is gelling, and like I said, we're kind of hunting in a pack. We're staying together. We're really corralling the other team to where we want it, to making sure that there's not a lot of free space for them.
Now that it's kind of resolved, I can say there was some issues between 4 and 11, Bissett and Edmonds in those first couple games. That's gone. They look like besties now. Brooke Hendricks has been hitting these long balls kind of diagonally to his left side, and Bissett has started to join her because Lexington did have a really organized midfield, and so sometimes we like to possess, they like to organize, and so it was a good matchup until Bissett was like, hey, why don't I just bang one over the top? And man, we started causing some more issues as soon as that happened. So I love the fact that it looks like we've kind of got a couple artillery pieces back there. We're going to possess. We got our midfield disruptors, but Bissett and Hendricks can just bang a ball where it needs to go, like at a moment's notice. If somebody wants to make a run, do it, and one of our center backs is going to reward you for it. So that's a big part of that new identity that we got, where everything is there now, I think. I mean, you got Clark coming in, freed up to be the super sub to run other teams into the dirt. Paige Almendares got her first play. She's got Paige in the back of the jersey, which I'm super glad about because I'm not sure I'm saying her last name right. What? 22.
No, yeah. Is she gonna be like a one-namer?
Yeah, she's just Paige.
Paige. All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Why? I was like, wait, why is Paige on the back of her jersey? It's like, Lizzie, why is Marta the only thing on Marta's jersey?
She's good and her name's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, she got in the game. She saw some good promises on the right side, dribbling the ball, getting forward. Just got to get acclimated to the team, and she's going to be another good piece. We're not gonna have to slow down so much like we used to when the subs happen late in the game. We can just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, the momentum dropped just a little bit, and that's gonna happen with your subs. I totally understand. But it wasn't anything like it's been in the past where I feel like we look like a different team with the subs.
Yeah. And I think Lexington adapted better than maybe Dallas and DC did to us.
Yes,
and we still didn't drop off quite as much as we had in the past.
Yeah. No, for sure. Lexington is I think going to be maybe a chameleon team. They seem to adapt really, really well.
Yeah. Good coaching.
Yeah. For sure. All right, Tom.
Yep.
Who's your player of the match?
My player of the match. It's all right. Well, first of all, it's not Ashley Orcus. Awesome. And that's not to say she didn't do what she needed to do. She came up with some big saves. The 2 goals can't really do much about. I'm just glad it doesn't always have to be the goalie. My player of the match is Talia Stouty. Welcome to the team.
Woo-hoo.
I've hinted at it before during the recap. She's defensively sound. Maybe a couple little issues here and there. She's not a center back. She's a wing back. So she's not going to do everything perfect back there. But she takes on some one-on-ones. She can push players off the ball and sneak in and grab it. She's super confident going forward. She looks like the kind of player Coach Denise would have picked out of a lineup. And we got her on loan from North Carolina, but she's perfect for our system.
Wait, is she on loan?
She's on loan from Courage.
For how
long? I don't know. Not long enough.
I don't like loans.
Probably to the end of the NWSL season.
I hope so.
Okay,
I hope so. Sorry, I've been burned by loans with the Rowdies.
Yeah, that's the number one rule. Don't fall in love with a loan. Sorry, I just picked her as my player of the match. But yeah, she's defensively sound. She's occupying that natural right back spot, which, like I said, frees up Listo and Timrak to go play their natural positions, and that knocks on effect allows Wasilla to get further upfield and create some chances, get a header down that resulted in a goal. She was stouty. She was stout. Hey, that's a good one. She was involved in all the goals. The first one, she was where she needed to be when the ball came off Jamona, and it was a beauty. It was a hell of a shot. The second goal, she gets sprung into space for that hockey assist by Timrak, and she serves the cross into Jamona while falling down. We saw it a couple times. While she's falling down, she can place the ball more accurately than most people can standing up on 2 feet. And then the third goal she was even involved in because she started it by playing Jamona into the space, and that's the second time they've cooperated well. I think we're going to see a lot of interplay between Stouty and Jamona going forward because, man, I really like it. It's a new look that I think her addition alone changed the entire context of the way the team wants to play, and it frees them up to play the game plan that Denise wants them to do. So that's why I got Talia Stouty, Loney from Courage, my player of the match. Liz.
Well, how am I supposed to follow that up?
You
like so cohesive and
like
well thought out.
Hey, put your own spin on it. That's why you're here.
Okay. Well, all right. So my player of the match is Sydney DeCello. I think she has just been absolutely phenomenal and just a key player, especially in this last match against Lexington. Her runs of plays just to get it and push that ball as far up the field as she possibly can before she gets fouled, before she has to pass it, is unparalleled, honestly. And her dribbling is top of the league for sure. Yeah. It's insane how she can just I'm just going to keep dribbling. I'm just going to dribble from one end of the field to the other and just dash around everyone basically. Yeah. It's insane. But there are several runs of play that would not have happened without her in the Lexington match. And I think she is going to be, I think we knew going in that she was going to be really, really good. I don't think we realized this good.
Yeah.
And she's fun to watch, honestly. She's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And also her friendship with Dewara is adorable. And I feel like the fact that they're besties is going to make them even better because then they're going to have that psychic bestie connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yeah. We're going to be unstoppable.
She started on the right side. She moved over to the left, close to Wasilla. And that happened pretty early. And it did change things. But, man, you were right. She is so exciting. If you're looking at your phone or something and you hear DeCello gets the ball, you
look up.
Watch.
Yeah, just watch because you're going to be amazed. She's going to do something pretty.
Yeah.
She's going to do something with the ball that you're going to be like, how? That's not normal.
Yeah.
How do people do that?
Through to the players, dribble 30, 40 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one play, I know you saw this too, that I loved in particular. It was off a free kick on the right side in the second half. She just dribbles the ball into the box and then is like, all right, there's not really anything here. Turns around, just leave, and then just hangs out right inside the box. Go ahead, foul me, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think she found
Come at me, bro. Come at me.
Yeah, exactly. And then she found somebody making a run, and it was just off sides. But man, that's knowing she has that in her little bag of tricks. That's going to be a problem for people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And like I said, Lexington was just really just trying to contain DeCello. They didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah.
So they were just like, all right, we're just gonna put people in front of her to slow her down. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
To not risk, an errant yellow card or something like that.
I really don't know if there's one defender in the league good enough to do something about her.
I can't say that until we play every team in the league.
Yeah, exactly. And the longer it goes, the more time people know, hey, we got to do something about Sydney when she's got the ball. But man, she's been a real pleasure to watch. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She could have just as easily been the player of the match in like the other matches, if not for the fact that Orcus had to be the best goalie on the planet those 2 nights.
Yeah, if not for the fact that her hands were actually magnetized to the ball.
Yeah. Literally, yeah, almost literally.
So, Tom, we're moving in. We have a game this Saturday at 7 p.m. at Fort Blake against Brooklyn. Brooklyn's played 1 game.
Yeah.
What do we know about Brooklyn?
Not much. Liz, see you next week. No.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. No, we don't know much about Brooklyn. We still don't know exactly who their actual coach is. We know now that Kristen Sample is filling in as the interim coach. She's the coach at NYU up there, New York University. So she knows the area.
Sounds fake, but okay.
Yeah, right. New York University, that is made up.
Oh no, I was gonna say because her last name is Sample.
Sample, yeah, she's a Sample player.
It's like when it says F name, last name.
F name, yeah. USL legend, first name, last name.
Oh yeah. Plays in every league, every division, men's and women's.
Sometimes twice in the same night, sometimes for both teams.
I don't know how they do it, honestly.
They're a legend.
Yeah.
But no, she's a local coach. She knows what she's doing. She's been around. I'm seeing there's not a lot to go off. 1 game. But I'm seeing a lot of similarities actually between Brooklyn and Tampa Bay. They got a coach, as it stands, at least for Brooklyn. They got a coach from a local college who has been around in the college ranks, knows what they want to do with the team. Probably harder as the interim coach to get your fingerprint on the team, but hey. And not only that kind of passing resemblance on the field. They play a 4-1-4-1 mid-block, just like we are moving into.
Interesting.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. I don't think we've seen exactly the same formation, the same sort of philosophy before that Brooklyn's going to want to do. Like I said, 1 player up top, Jessica Garziano. She's a good striker. She scored their goal real late in the game, 87th minute against Spokane off of a penalty kick. But hey, that's what it takes sometimes, especially in your first game away from home. They showed a lot of resilience in that. It was a late game, so I don't know how checked in I was the entire time, I'll be honest, but I did watch it. It was adjustment. They didn't have most of the possession. They didn't make most of their passes. It's their first game, but when they've got Sydney Nacello, see, I've already forgotten about Sydney Martinez. I am over her.
Yeah, you are, man. Yeah. And you were mourning that loss for a while.
Yeah, she was the goalie I wanted. She was the player I wanted us to sign. A USF player.
Sydney Martinez, who we have Orcus.
Yeah. We don't need Sydney Martinez. We have Ashley Orcus. She's better.
Yeah.
And so she is a really good goalie, though. I wanted her for a reason. So when you got her in goal, that's going to help. When you got a good player like Jessica Garziano up top, that's going to help. When you're playing a safe formation like the 4-1-4-1, it's going to help things happen. You don't want to try and do too much as a brand new team. And I saw Brooklyn kind of react to Spokane and contain them. Spokane did play a good game against Fort Lauderdale a couple weeks, but that was also a 1-1 draw. So for Brooklyn to come out and do the same thing, I think they're not going to be a bad team. There's not a lot to go off of, but I don't think they're going to be bad. And I think the matchup we have against them, where we're going to want to, we're going to play the same way to a degree. I think we're going to want to possess, and they're going to want to counterattack. So it's just going to come down to, I think probably our experience is going to push us over the edge. But it is going to be a really interesting game with a team that we don't have that much knowledge about. So I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be good. I think just seeing how they mesh after a week of practicing. It's not too far of a flight, at least. They're in the same time zone, so they don't have too much of that. Hopefully, it's not the worst away game that they're gonna have for sure. Oh, I mean, Spokane
for everybody.
Yeah. Man, even for Spokane, every away match for them is gonna be miserable. But it's not the worst away match for them. I'm hoping also they've had more time to practice than we know of. And maybe it's just that those first game nerves, which I totally understand. There was also the if they've been practicing on grass, how much practice have they had on turf? I know that was a big thing for the Sun starting off, was they wanted to make sure they had they had I think they honestly had that closed door match just to get some turf time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Yeah, we're gonna want to possess the ball. We're gonna want to keep it on the ground, and I think. Now we have kicked into a different gear. I think we win it. 3 goals feels optimistic, but I think we come out with a 2-0 win against Brooklyn.
Okay, sorry. So Tom says 2-0.
Yep.
I am going to be a little less optimistic. I'm going to say 2-1.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, because like I said, just a couple of little like I said, we might roll three ones again.
Yeah. That's always going to happen. It's always a chance. I think we're starting to click now and become the team people thought we could be. And Brooklyn is still finding their sea legs.
Mm-hmm. And super producer Eureka agrees with you and says it's also going to be a 2-0 win.
Good, yeah, because he picked us to lose against Lexington, right?
He did. He did.
Glad he could see.
So now he has faith in the team. I see.
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh no, he means 3-0 loss. Okay.
Oh yeah, that seems right. Yeah, he was really impressed by Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was impressed by Brooklyn's kits. Those things are sharp.
Oh my God, they look good.
The pinstripes. Normally, I don't like it because it's just kind of like and looks old timey, but somehow they managed to make it look really fresh. Honestly, I think maybe it's because it's the cream instead of like a white.
Yeah. And they're not straight pinstripes. They're like the little 2 with another color in the middle. They're like little tri-stripes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, it's like
I call it all.
Yeah, it's a cream jersey with black, white, black pinstripes.
Yeah.
They got the collar, the little B logo.
Also, they get to have the word Liquid Death on the front of their kit. That's freaking awesome.
The logo matches the 2 logos match. Come on.
Yeah. The script. They're both script. They do look really nice.
Yeah, and hey, as good as the field jerseys look too, that red goalie kit that Martinez had.
Yeah.
If I wasn't a Sun fan, I would buy that like immediately. It is so good.
Yeah. Speaking of goalie kits, if the USL could make those available at any point, like yesterday, that would be great. Because I'm gonna need a pink Orcus kit now. Because I want a cute pink jersey.
Brooklyn is selling their goalie kits, by the way.
What? What?
That's not the USL. That's us. That's up to us.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you. Hold on.
They announced.
They have their shit together better than we do?
I wouldn't go that far. No, I wouldn't say that. But yeah, they are selling their goalie kits.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
They're selling the home and away.
They're doing it. They're doing it great. Except for the fact that they don't actually have like a coach or whatever. So no, they're not. They don't have their shit together more than we do. No. We're 48 minutes in, dropping the yeah. So no, they look good aesthetically. They play fine, but it's going to be their second ever game. I'm not. Hey, we got them. Yeah.
I'm not super worried, but I'm also just like I'm not worried because unless something truly terrible happens, we should play just fine. And worst comes to worst, we'll end in a tie. Who cares? We're playing it. We're playing soccer, and it's wonderful. And I'm just happy to be there.
That's right.
This what?
That's right. We're doing it finally.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't.
Sun soccer. Okay. So around the league, real quick, it was the first ever weekend that all 8 teams participated in the beautiful game. Carolina Ascent, the team that plays every other day, it feels like. They picked up another win against Fort Lauderdale. Carolina's sitting top of the table. They got their 2 wins, but I don't know how impressed you can be with their the teams they've beaten so far. I'm not too high on Fort Lauderdale. I'm not just saying that as a Tampa guy.
Has Carolina played Spokane yet?
Carolina has not played Spokane yet. Spokane has played 2 games, Fort Lauderdale and Brooklyn.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, we did touch on.
I feel like Spokane is the team I'm most interested in, and be like the one I know the least about.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah.
I've watched both their games, and I still feel like I don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I like I said, I like Akic out of there. I think she's Bosnian, and she's a really good dribbler. She's not quite Cindy Nacella, but she's real good. The other game that happened in the league was Dallas's home opener, and they. This may have been the most Super League game of all time. Dallas versus DC. DC debuts their jerseys without telling anybody. Dallas drops their jerseys like the day before the game, and they're just they're their away jerseys but in red. And then the 2 teams play to a 1-1 draw. Baby, that's Super League soccer right there.
That's inaugural Super League soccer.
That's early inaugural season Super League soccer. Yeah. There's not much to say about that. Did you watch that game? I missed it.
Nope. I think I watched Spokane, Brooklyn. We're really on top of it this week. It's been a week.
Look, we've seen Dallas. We've seen DC.
Yeah.
We don't need to see them play each other.
I mean, we probably should go back and revisit that at some point. But yes.
We probably should. But hey.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. And then, a couple signings I do want to talk about real quick. Carolina is they're first in the league, and they want everybody to know about it. They signed Addison Merrick from the Utah Royals. That's a good defender, and I think they're going to need that because they haven't played teams that are super powerful offensively.
It's Utah.
She's NW. I don't look. I don't know anything about Addison Merrick. Right?
I'm pretty sure Utah is the bottom of the table, and like we're talking like, hold on.
We're talking about
oh my god, the Dash are below them.
Okay, see,
that's so bad.
Miss NWSL. Yeah. So
okay, well, when I've been following it for a decent amount of time, and all I know is that the Royals are trash. Like, it's unfortunate they've had a lot of issues internally and stuff like that. But the Utah has just been trash. So the fact that Houston is now below them, because Houston won like a couple years back, I feel like.
Houston's been good, I thought.
Yeah, they've been halfway decent.
Galileo High, it's a decent.
This is just the year where everything gets turned on its head with the NWSL, because Orlando is on the longest unbeaten streak for the NWSL in history, which is insane if you knew Orlando, 10 years ago when they started?
Hell, when they had Alex Morgan and they couldn't do this?
When they had Alex Morgan and Marta and Ali Krieger and Ashlyn Harris.
Oh my god.
And shit, there was one other Brazilian player who was really, really good, whose name I can't remember, who was playing with Marta.
Whoever that coach was. Who?
Camilla sounds right.
Camilla, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoever
no.
that coach was during those years, he should be fired from wherever he's at right now. Whoever their coach was during those years when they had all those players, whoever that person is should be fired again, a second time.
Ironically, he, I believe, is actually doing phenomenal.
And how did he squander all that talent?
Hold on.
How are they so good now?
It was Seb Hines. It's Seb Hines now. Who was it before this?
I love the on-show research.
This is the on-show. Well, you know what? It's gonna bug me.
Yeah, hey,
I remember looking him up and being like, oh wait, wasn't he good? No, he was bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you're still here, oh my god, bless you, my friend. This is gonna bug me. Hold on. Tom Sermani. That's who it was for the longest time.
Doing a discredit to my name.
No, wait. Who am I? No.
Liz.
No, Mark Skinner. That's who I'm thinking of. Because now he's doing Manchester United Women's, and they're doing really, really well.
Oh, how did he go from whatever?
I don't know.
That makes sense. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I remember I think I turned on the one of the women's games, and I was like, oh, that name looks familiar.
He's Mark
Wasn't he the sucky
right?
Wasn't he the sucky coach in Orlando?
Mark C. Skinner, right? Mark with a C.
No, Skinner.
No, Mark with a C. MARC.
Oh yes, Mark with a K or with a C. Words.
All right, cool. All right. Two more things, and we can knock it out. Because something happened there. Hey, DC, they're still doing soccers. Something DC United, the organization, is doing something weird right now that I enjoy. They are becoming best friends with Ethiopia, which I would have never expected. But they like signed like something with the Ethiopian Football Federation, where now they're like best friends. They Audi Field hosted 2 Ethiopian men's teams for like a big friendly. And the big Ethiopian community up there in DC showed out for it. And then the Power signed the Ethiopian national team captain, Loza Abera, which is a signing I just got to say real quick. It's funny to me just because you don't see the Ethiopian players come over here. But she is the captain of the national team. She's the all-time leading goal scorer in the domestic league, which, man, I do not know how the Ethiopian women's domestic league stacks up against the rest of the world. But I'm really interested to see her get out there on the field and like, how's that going to work? So interesting little stuff.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah.
Do we know if friendship bracelets were exchanged? You said they're getting to be really good friends, like, but that's how you know.
I don't think it's official yet. Then you're right.
Okay. Well, so they better work on that.
Mm-hmm. And then, Liz, you want to take this? This is a big moment for everybody involved. One final piece of news.
We are now Goalkeeper FC.
Oh God, we have 2 pieces of news. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, what's the other one?
Alex Morgan.
Yeah, the power ranking.
No, Alex Morgan. But yeah, the power ranking.
Alex Morgan. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, she's retired. So yeah.
Yeah, she retired. Very unfortunate to see her go, but I understand entirely. I think she wasn't planning on maybe getting pregnant this early in the season. But she's 35. That's a perfectly reasonable age to retire, especially as a forward. They get run hard. Yeah. And
she's played.
Yeah, and she has had a phenomenal career, and it was. I don't want to say heartbreaking. That's not what it is. I guess bittersweet to watch her walk off the field, because I remember watching her when she was just baby horse.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And she was the great hope of the national team for the longest time, and now she's retiring and leaving behind an organization that is twice what it was. Yeah. When she started. Yeah, in terms of player quality, in terms of what it's how it's going, how it's protecting players now, which she's given back to women's soccer in general is absolutely it's remarkable.
We don't have to worry about the NWSL anymore. It's a strong league. It's so strong that there's another.
Alex Morgan's final act was to get rid of the draft.
Yeah. Legal organizer Alex Morgan. She is awesome. Yeah, and then you're right. We got another loan signing here in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, we did. We got another signing. We are Goalkeeper FC now. We have a 4th goalkeeper.
Yep. We have Ashley Orcus. We have the injured reserve Kayla Marchese from Arsenal. We have our backup Lauren Kellett, rookie out of TCU, and we got another Lauren K. We have 2 Lauren Ks, and they both play goalie. We got Lauren Kozal on loan from the Portland Thorns.
So we have 2 Brooke H's and 2. Oh no!
Yeah.
What?
No, two
Brooks.
2 Brooks. And 2 Lauren
and then 2 Lauren K's. Okay.
Yeah. Kozal is a good goalie, and so I think it's a little weird that she ended up here, where we kind of have 3 good goalies already. But she's a Michigan girl, 24 years old. Went to Michigan State, where she was the 2022 Big Ten Player of the Year. Which is funny because Ashley Orcus was the 2022 SEC Player of the Year or Goalie of the Year. I guess
same thing, different league, right?
Yeah, exactly. We got the best goalie from the South, and now we got the best goalie from the North in 2022.
Yes.
She made some appearances last year for the U23 national team. Played 45 minutes in a game against France. Played 45 minutes in a game against France again a couple days later. Only allowed 1 goal in both of those games, or over the course of those 2 games. So good goalie. She's a free agent after the NWSL season ends, when her loan is up. So maybe we put her on. It does raise some questions for us about where Marchese is in terms of her recovery from her injury. So maybe she's covering for that. Maybe we sign her through the rest of the season. Kellett was still the backup up in Lexington. So I don't know if Kozal's here or not, or what the plan there is, but always good to have depth.
Yeah, we'll see what the lineup looks like on Saturday, and see if maybe Kozal is the backup instead. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. We have talked for an hour.
It was a good week.
It was a good week. I did not think we'd get an hour out of this, though. I'm very impressed. So that does it. Remember to like, subscribe, hit all the buttons so that you never miss anything, because we have another game coming up, and it's against Brooklyn, and we're coming off a win. So we're going to be amazing. So make sure you don't miss a single thing. All right. Bye. Love y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.